Today on the podcast, we are getting down to it. We are talking about, can you still sell music? We'll see you on the inside and we'll talk about it. What's going on, guys? How's it going? Welcome to the Songwriters Podcast. I am Mike, creator of the Songwriters Planner, and thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I'd like to say thank you to all the first-time visitors. I really appreciate you guys swinging by. If it's your first time, thank you, thank you, thank you. I also wanted to just say really quickly that this podcast is also on Spotify and iTunes. So if you are subscribed to any one of those services, please check it out. You can catch me there and get notifications when I post new episodes, as well as my YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you really find this stuff useful for you. I hope you do. You can hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel and you will get notified every time I put out a new episode as well. Whew. Okay. All right. Thank you, people. I just like to try and get the house cleaning stuff out of the way a little bit faster these days because I like to just jump into the topic. And today's topic is without exception. Man, I've been really doing a lot of research and really been thinking about how I'm going to approach today's episode. Let's see. So I follow a YouTuber. His name is Damian Keys. He is, again, another YouTuber. He's a musician, advice person. He lives in the UK. And if you get him, check him out. His name is Damian Keys. It's last name is spelled Keyes. And he put out a video, I think it was about a week ago, saying, and it was titled "Stop Selling Music." And it's caused all kinds of reactions from people. I mean, he got all, I mean, you name it. He got people that supported him. He got people that said he's crazy to go F off. He even at one point got a death threat, people, about him saying stop selling music. So if you get a chance, watch this video. And he goes into a lot of interesting scenarios for musicians in today's age of being a musician and being in bands. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of ask that same question. Can you still sell music in this day and age? Excuse me. Okay, so that is a big question. And I know that we are very passionate about making money and getting compensated for our art. I just like to say right off the top that I think every musician deserves to be compensated for their art. I think every musician should get recognition. I think every artist in a perfect world should get compensated. Okay. I'm a drummer. I've been a drummer for 20 plus years. I've made money off of being in music. I've made money off of playing music, and I've made no money being in music. I mean, if I've done it all. So I have a very in-tuned perception of what it is to make music and get paid and not get paid. Okay. And the age that we're in today is very interesting for the artist, especially the musician, because we're talking about music. And the music industry is taking a change, or I should say it is changing in a certain way. And I think that we are all, the industry people and musicians and artists are all on roller skates because we don't know what direction the industry is going in. Okay, so today we're talking about, is it still possible to make money off of selling music? Now, just recently, the RIAA, which is the Record Industry Recording Industry Association of America. Excuse me. Whew, I messed that one up. They just released their annual, what's it called? The year-end Music Industry Revenue Report. And this is for 2018 now. And I'm going to throw some numbers at you. And these are the revenue generated off of music sales in 2018. And they break it down what that looks like, okay? For some reason, it doesn't add up to perfect 100%, but it's pretty close, and you get the idea. So at 75% of revenue that was generated in 2018 from music sales was off of streaming subscription services, okay? We're talking Spotify, we're talking iTunes, all these subscription services that are out there, the Pandoras. 75% of revenue was generated off of streaming services. 75%, okay? What came in next? 12%. CD sales and vinyl sales. 12% came in next after 75% of streaming. And what was after that? 11% of downloads. Remember iTunes, you can download a song for $1? That was 11%. And then it had another small percentage there, which was something that was pretty obscure, but you get the picture of what we're looking at here. Okay, we got 75% of all generated revenue was from streaming services. Now, that doesn't mean that that is money that went into the artist's pocket. Okay, that is far from it. That means that the companies, Spotify, iTunes, they make a lot of money. The artists who are proven, your Jay-Z's, your Beyoncé's, your Justin Timberlake's, they make money off of that, okay? What does that mean for the little guy? The streaming services, we don't make a lot of money off of streaming. It's really not even something that you can count on as income. I mean, you can maybe, for some of you maybe, but for the average musician out there, you can't really look and say, I'm going to write a song, I'm going to put it on a streaming service, and that's going to pay my rent every month. Probably not going to happen. So you slip down to the 12% of CD sales and vinyl. And out of those two, vinyl actually went up. There's a kind of resurgence for vinyl. I consider it more of a niche market. I don't think that as most bands or most artists can release albums on vinyl and rely on that as actual income that you can use to generate profits to buy more vinyl and so forth. Yeah, there may be artists that can do that out there, but for the majority of us, the cost to make vinyl is very expensive, and you just don't get enough sales out of them. So for some artists, it may be worth it, but for the majority of us, it's probably not a worthy revenue stream that you can count on, that you can actually profit from. Okay, so anyway, CDs and vinyl were second, and then of course falling behind now is downloads. Downloads are going down. Sales of downloads are going down. It's becoming a low market value item. People just aren't downloading MP3s anymore. Why would they? Because they have streaming services. They can just listen to it on their phone. A lot of people don't care anymore that they don't have an actual file to listen to the song. They just listen to through streaming services. All right. So anyway, those are some numbers that I want us to digest as we talk about this. So if you look at it from an industry standpoint, from a business standpoint, from a music business standpoint, and I'm talking about the industry business, maybe not the blue-collar musician like you and I, the numbers don't lie in that people are subscribing to streaming services instead of buying physical pieces that have your music on there. I'm talking about CDs, cassette tapes, vinyl records, whatever, you name it. There is a big gap in what we're doing here. So does music actually sell? That's a hard question. I will say this. I will say that, I started playing music back way a long time ago. Let's put it this way, before the internet existed. And now I play music now. And the days of artists releasing music on something that is physical, that you can tangibly hold, whether it be a cassette, a CD, or a record, have that physical item distributed by a distribution company. Some guy walks into a record store, puts your CDs in the store, puts them on the racks, and then people come in and buy those physical pieces of your music, to where that dollar comes back to you into your bank account, to where you profit from it. Those days are over. I'm telling you right now, and you probably may or may not agree with me, those days are over. It just doesn't happen. Why? Well, there's many reasons why. And I also believe that after doing a lot of research and going through the comments and going through the passion that we as artists have about this issue, there is almost kind of a generational gap between baby boomers, Generation Xers, and millennials, okay? The boomers and the Xers are very, very distraught about this model not working anymore. You talk to millennials, they don't care, because they didn't grow up with physical items that you can play music on, and that when you buy it, it goes to the record company first, and then it goes to the artist. and very little goes to the artist, by the way. They didn't grow up with this concept. Maybe they caught the tail end of it, but they don't care. Okay, their music is delivered via streaming services. Their music is delivered via the internet these days. However, boomers and Generation Xers, we'll throw Generation Ys in there, we grew up differently. And I understand why we look at this model and we freak the F out, okay? Especially if you're an artist and you're not making money the traditional way that your heroes did, put it that way. It's frustrating. But the reality is that model of buying a physical item, music, something that has music on it, and selling it with your music on there and hoping to make dependable income to where you're profiting from it, and it helps you in your career, and you invest more into your career. Those days are over. They're gone. Now, do I think that you should stop selling CDs? No, you don't have to stop selling CDs. Actually, CDs are becoming something that is really cool for your merch table. Have some CDs on your merch table. There's nothing against putting some out there and selling them out there. I think the model of investing in thousands and thousands of CDs, having them distributed across the country physically and put into the dwindling amount of record stores we have in this country, and then people going to them, finding your CD, buying it, and you profiting off of that, it's not there anymore. That's just the way it is. Can you still hustle and try to do this model? Yes, you can. There's nothing saying that you can't do it. But if you're spending that much money on CDs and trying to get your, and by the way, I didn't even talk about marketing. If you're putting your CD physically in some store, 10 states away from you, you got to make sure you're going to market that. So that's another cost. That's a whole different story though. So where are we as artists? Are we stuck? No, you're not stuck. The industry is changing. I believe the industry is changing. So if you're not making money off of physical CDs enough to where you're profiting from it, to where you can invest in your music and make more of it, if you're not making that kind of money off physical items that have your music on it, where can you make money? Well, there's other places you can make money. And this podcast is going to be probably too short for all of these things, but I'm going to run through them anyway. Excuse me. First of all, obviously the most obvious, the live performance. You're going to make money off your live shows. We always have as artists. That's not going to change. Touring and promotion and marketing and playing live shows, that is so crucial if you are trying to make a career for yourself in music. You're going to make money off of those live shows. And it's a whole science to dial in a show like that to where you do make money. But that is probably the number one way that you're going to make money off of your music is playing live shows. That hasn't changed. That's not going to change. That's actually even more important than it was, 20 years ago. It is more important now. Second way, selling merch at your table, selling merch online, selling merch everywhere. This also has not changed, and it has also just become as important as playing live. What I think is even better these days is that it makes with the services we have online now, you can literally have a merch store up and running with your designs of your band on t-shirts ready to sell in a day. Okay, that doesn't mean that you've created a shirt and you've ordered a bunch of them and now they're all stuck in your house in boxes. No, I mean, on-demand order fulfillment is very, very valuable to bands because it can get you up and running quickly. Your margins are not going to be as high as if you were to buy all the shirts, but you are going to have a merch store set up really quickly. People can pay with their credit cards. You can be doing online transactions for people to have your logo on their shirt out there in America or wherever they are. It's a really low barrier to entry. So, companies like Printful, these are great companies that offer print-on-demand services, and you don't have to carry any inventory. If you want to get started quick, that's a great way to do it. So merchandising is a great way. And then I'm going to throw CDs in there. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, you can get some CDs pressed. I wouldn't get thousands and thousands of them pressed. Make 500 or make 1,000 to start and see how that even works. That might even be too much. I don't know. But, that is also part of it. And another way is to do either sponsorships or affiliate marketing on your website. if you have an audience, if you have people that come to your website, if you have people that want to know what's going on with you. And by the way, all of these things here, they mean nothing if you do not have a responsive audience. If people who want to know what you're doing, people who want to know what you're up to, people who like what you do, people who want to listen to you, not just your music, but they want to hear what you have to say, people who follow you, people who come to your shows, and people who will actually give you money for things like merch, for things like Patreon accounts, for fundraising, people that will actually do these things. If you don't have a substantial amount of people that are these people, then you're not going to make money no matter what it is, whether it's merch, whether it's affiliate marketing, whether it's coming to your shows. If you don't have a built-in audience or you're not growing an audience like that, it doesn't matter what you do. Your number one concern should be to grow an audience, a responsive audience, an engaged audience, an audience that when you post something on Facebook, you get comments on it, you get likes, and you get people asking you, where can I get tickets? Or you get people asking you, where can I get this shirt? Okay, that is a very engaging audience. Some call them super fans. It's great to have super fans, people who are just down with whatever you're doing. If you don't have an audience like this, then you're going to have a hard time making money. Doesn't matter what you do. But regardless, like I was saying, affiliate marketing, which is basically when you run ads on your website, or you say, not necessarily ads, but you say, hey, I really like this guitar. I play it. If you like it too, you can go over here and buy it. You know, you're basically endorsing the stuff that you already like. And if people go and buy that, then you get a commission from that. That is another way to make money. These are actual legitimate ways to make money as musicians, you know, giving lessons. I know a high-profile guitar player who plays for some really big names. And when he's not on the road, guess what? He's doing guitar lessons. That's right. And you know what? People see him out on the road and they go, wow, this guy's great. And then he goes, hey, by the way, I'm giving guitar lessons on his social media. And he gets crazy, crazy responses on that. So that is another way you can make money. It really is. You're never too good. You're never too big to put money in your pocket by using your skills. Okay. This podcast probably could go on for another 20 minutes, but I'm not going to. I just wanted to talk about, is music still sellable? And if it is not, or if it is, what are other ways that musicians can make money without selling physical copies of, whether it be CDs, anything that resembles 1998, okay? Are there other ways to make music? And I say, yes, they are. Is the music industry changed? Yes. Is it a profitable business to sell physical items with your music on it to record stores around the country and make money? No, it is not. But that doesn't mean it's a dead end road. So I am a Generation Xer, people. I am an old school guy. I've seen it, you know, from when the music was built on record sales, and I see it now. And that's just the way it goes. Things change, and you have to adapt as musicians. So I know this is a heated argument with a lot of people, I wouldn't say argument, but it's a very touchy subject, and I get it. So I just wanted to start the conversation today in this podcast. I hope that you found some value in it. Whether you agree with me or not, that's okay too. You don't have to agree with me. This is more or less me just kind of ranting and just dropping what I think where we are as far as what sells today in music. I would love to hear your stories and love to hear what you do to sell music, because everybody's got a different story. There's many different ways to make it in this business, so to speak. But what's going to be the best way that puts money in your pocket and you profit from off your net sales, so where you can put more money into your career, okay? Where it is a dependable income and revenue stream. That's what I want to hear. You got some ideas? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for sticking around this podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel or on Spotify and iTunes. I'd love to have you guys around. And I will see you at the next podcast. Peace and love.